Blazer Victory Podcast. John Duncan here, joined as always with my co-host Darion Smith. Guys, unfortunately, UAB lost to FAU 24-17 in Boca Raton, and UAB falls to 4-4 overall and 2-3 in Conference USA play, and just brutal, man. Like I really the only plus out of this game for me was the 0 turnovers, but essentially you have one when you don't convert that fourth down in that next to the last drive. And Darion, I know I know you especially. We've got a lot to say on that last drive, and just I don't know. You want to start us on that conversation?
Yeah, let's just start at that next to last drive. So I know it's a lot that happened there in the game. And we clearly lost the middle eights of the game, the end of the second, beginning of the third type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we dug ourselves in the hole. We get to the next to last drive, and I don't know. I know we had like at least about 10 minutes when that drive started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, started at the 15-yard line, and they ate up literally like 9 or 10 minutes on that drive.
I don't. Listen, man, I was wondering the whole time, like, why are we going so slow? Go back and rewatch that drive. I don't get it. It seemed like it was part of the game plan. It was just to milk the. I'm like, we are the ones that's down 7 points on the road, like, and I don't know. It's like we were going all in on that drive. That's what it felt like. Because then we burned 2 timeouts at the end, so we
okay, yeah. Let's talk about those 2 timeouts right quick, because that was stupid, and I don't get why. Okay, I get the first timeout, right? So it's 3rd down, it's about to be a delayed game. Coach Benson hurries in and calls a timeout. Okay, I get that, but you don't get the 3rd down, and then you have to burn another timeout for the 4th. Like if you burn that timeout, at least have a plan. Like, hey, we're gonna go for it regardless. Like, if we don't get it here, let's already have a play in mind to run the next play. And I think the announcer even said that on CBS. It's like, it's just mind-boggling. Like, I don't get what they were doing. And everybody and their mama in that stadium and watching the game knew that Debo was going to get that ball on 3rd down. I even told my wife, I said, they're going to hand it to Debo. It was 3rd and 2. And what does he do? He loses a yard. And I'm not taking anything away from Debo. Debo had another great game, 24 carries, 168 yards. But on that, like, Zeno was doing so well, pulling it at times. And I don't know, man. And I'm not trying to rag on anybody in particular, but that sequence right there on that next to the last drive, I do not get what Bryant Vincent was thinking there. Like, if you're going to blow a timeout like that, which I get, you don't want to get the delay of game, but to burn 2 timeouts in a row, like, what are you thinking?
But I wasn't surprised, because guess what? We've been doing that all season.
Honestly. And, bro, didn't that remind you of WKU last Friday? Like, how we milked that clock on the last drive, and then he throws a pick. Zeno threw a pick last week, and here we are. I mean, yeah, we didn't have any turnovers in the stat sheet, but basically that is a turnover when you turn it over on downs. Like,
and then we did that at Rice, right?
Yeah.
We kind of had that same scenario, I'm like, what is it? This strange rivalry of UAB versus timeouts that's developed this year.
Just time management, man. It's killer, and it's killed us. Like, I just don't understand it, man. I really don't. And the players fought their hearts out. UAB got the ball back, started at the 26-yard line, had to go 74 yards, and damn near almost did it. I did, as much as we crap on that next to last drive. The last drive, I do like a couple of the play calls, and I do like that last play. The 4th and 10, and you try to throw it to Tyjon Palmer, and man, it was so close. But
yeah, I feel like in that moment he should have stopped and jumped, and actually stopped and turned around. But I know that's he just made a judgment call on trying to catch that ball. It was right there. That was a good play by the FAU defender.
It was. And, hey, you got to give your hats off to FAU. Like, this did not look like they're 4-5 now, but a 3-5 team. But honestly, kind of going back to our interview with Kevin, like it's almost like a Jekyll and Hyde. Like they play better at home than they do on the road, and I guess we're the same way. We just cannot find a way to play well on the road. And yeah, turnovers didn't kill us tonight. Well, I guess it ultimately did with the not converting on that fourth down or the 2 fourth downs at the end of the game. But penalties sure as heck did. 8 penalties for 57 yards. And really, it could have been worse than that because there were a couple other penalties that, FAU declined. Like, I just don't understand it. And I swear, 2 or 3 drives, before you even start the drive, there's a false start on somebody. Like, what in the world, man? Like, do you not know the freaking snap count? Like, breaking from the sideline, the snap count, what's going to happen, and you false start. Like, Sidney Wells did it once. Tajon Palmer did it, a wide receiver, and that irks me the most when you see a wide receiver get a false start. Like, dude, you're just watching the ball, man. Like, you are watching the ball.
I don't know, man. The other frustrating part is I'm looking at the game and I see WKU got blew out.
Yep. Hey, Rice got blew out too, man.
Rice got blew out by Charlotte.
Golly,
Rice got blew out by Charlotte, and WKU got blew out North Texas. And North Texas was at Western Kentucky.
Yep.
So I'm sitting here looking at us, right? Like, what are we? What is this team? Like, I don't know.
This is a team that damn near is probably going to miss a bowl game now, if we're being real.
Yeah, like I'm just like, this is just who we are, man. Like, and I text you. I said, did losing Bill Clark really hurt us that much? Like, maybe I underestimated it, but I really don't think this happens under Bill. Like,
it doesn't.
These disappointing losses to the conference UA. Come on, man. To these teams, like, I can honestly say it seemed like we were always in contention with Bill.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. And that's the most frustrating part of it. Is like you can't really lay a finger on it, like what's going on. So all of that patience and grace stuff, yeah, whatever.
Like, throw it out the window. Hey, throw that mid-season that we had just a few days ago. Yeah, it's over. Like they're 4-4, Darren. They're gonna have to win 2 out of the next 4 games just to get to a bowl. Just to be bowl eligible, because 6-6 doesn't even guarantee you a bowl game. And you got to look who they got coming up. They got UTSA coming in next week. They've got North Texas coming in the week after that. Then you got to go to LSU. You ain't gonna get LSU playing the way you have on the road. You ain't gonna get them, and then finish with La Tech. And you can't even say La Tech's a guarantee at this point. Shoot, the way this team's played on the road.
No, man, I don't know. Maybe we get bowl eligible. But just seeing those other scores was like, what? Like, what are? I just can't, like. But
it just makes it even more frustrating. And I'm sitting there getting my hopes up. Like, okay, hey, and before I came down here to record, Middle Tennessee was beating up on UTEP. The door was kind of opening up for if UAB would have won tonight and went to 3-2 in Conference USA play, they would have been in the tie for 3rd place. And really, if they would have just had maybe 1 or 2 games outside of what they controlled go their way, UAB could have fought their way back into a Conference USA championship. But that is definitely out the window now. There is no chance this team makes it to the Conference USA Championship, and unfortunately makes this year a failure.
All right, let me try to think of scores. Let me go back. Let me look at something real quick. I'm looking at our schedule. I'm looking at our offensive output. Throw Alabama A&M out the window. We only scored 14 at Liberty.
Yeah, that seems right. Yeah.
And
really, one of those was a garbage touchdown too. Yeah, so really 7 if you want to be real.
We got 35 points against Georgia Southern. Oh, okay, looking up. Then we only scored 24 against Rice. But then we throw 41 on Middle Tennessee. And Charlotte is a horrible defensive team, but we threw 34 on them. And then we put up 17 against Western Kentucky and 17 today.
3 points in the second half, man. 3 points in the second
The
half.
loss is the same way, coming out of halftime. I saw, I saw us go 14-10. I was just so like, whatever. Like when how I felt looking at my screen, I'm gonna be honest, I'm just like, okay, whatever.
It's like you aren't even surprised, like how the game was going. It was like, oh, okay, really? Yeah. Like, I mean, we've seen it too many times this year. Like, same old, same old. Like, second half adjustments, we have been killed. Like, out coached. Like, does this coaching staff not know how to make second half adjustments? Like, coming out of halftime? Like, especially on offense. And I don't want to knock the defensive staff. I mean, they still did a great job today. Granted, they did give up, 360, 173 rush yards, 187. But still, I mean, part of that, you got to just tip your hat to N'Kosi Perry. Man, that guy was just on today. 3 touchdowns, 187 yards. You could tell that he was wanting revenge from what happened at Protector Stadium last year. Like, you really do. Because on the couple of those touchdown passes, what's that?
You know what, man? No, I don't want to tip hats. Because I'm tired of tipping hats when we get.
But you done threw that hat off, didn't you? You threw it on the ground and stomped on
it. I'm taking our hat. I'm just throwing it on the ground because listen. I don't know, man. Our team's really playing that good against us, or is that just us just sucking on the road? Like, and is it just our coaching? Like, I mean, that next to last drive was kind of indicative. Like, I'm like, you know what? Because like I'm done with the grace and the patience. Like I tried, I tried it. Let's think about it. Let's calm down. Let's do all of that, But that next to last, and you know what? I controlled my emotions this whole game.
Yeah.
I know Trey had texted me like I'm mad. I'm like, I'm not even mad. But that next to last drive, I was like, what? Like, I don't know. It was like, let's find a way to piss off the Blazers.
Right.
And I'm just like, why? Why? It makes no sense. It makes no sense that I was watching a Laker game and I saw Russell Westbrook and the Lakers they were up 1 and the game was like, they had like 34 seconds left on the clock. And with like 17 seconds left on the shot clock, he just ran and jacked up a mid-range jumper and missed, and everybody was like, what you doing? Like, why? There was no reason to do that. Like, if you think in your head, there's no reason to do it at all. So that's kind of what I was like, what was the point? Why are we running out the clock? It's like you would have thought we were up 7.
Right.
And I don't know if it was like because Jacob Zeno was in and it was like communication issues, but I know I'm not going to give that excuse because we played a whole freaking game and we didn't have that problem.
Right.
So yeah, like what is it? Like, what is it? Somebody explain to me, why did we do that? Like, why are we sitting here draining the clock and we're down 7 and we did their job for them? It's like, not only that, let's call the 2 timeouts to make sure we can't get in a better position if we need them. Same thing we did in earlier games. And those redundant, repetitive, it's so redundant. Like, the way we lose is on the road. A team doesn't even have to be good. Just they have to be prepared. That's all. Because you can scheme against us. You can. They don't have to be too talented. They just have to be prepared. And they were prepared. They just took away what we, took it away. They weren't just ultra. They made some plays, but they just weren't like over the top talented team. We've seen more talent, but I don't mean to take nothing away because that's what it's going to sound like. Hats off to their staff for preparing those players because they were more prepared to win than our team was. But can we be surprised? Like, no, this is who this team is. We've shown that. That's 4 losses on the road, the same way. The same way. That is who we are. That is who we are this year. I'm a type of person. If you show me enough who you are, I give chances. Let's talk about it. So if I'm the type of person, if we have a miscommunication, I'm gonna come back and let's chat it out. Oh, we have another one. Be like, all right, well, we can continue to work. But after a couple of times, I'll be like, hey, man, you come around here next time with that, I'm gonna just knock you out. Like,
Yeah.
that's who you are. So we just need to stop it. Like, it ain't no use in even being upset. That's just who we are. I've accepted that. I'm okay with that now. I'm okay with it because we've shown it again. I'm just like, I'm not gonna be insane. Like, it's just what we do, So you don't want your fans to be like that, but at some point we have to accept reality. We can't. We got to look at what's real, what's in front of us. That's the facts. That's who we are. Where do we go from here is another question. That's a whole nother. I already know.
Yeah.
I to get into that, but that's I think everybody know what's up with that.
I think they know. Yeah, I think everybody knows. Yeah, I think especially if it wasn't clear after Bowling Green, it's definitely clear tonight.
Yep. So that's the question that we're at now, and going forward, I just I feel bad for the players since I'm wondering like how do you go through that like
it's a good question.
It's still a lot of season left, and you don't want to give up on your teammates, and because this season is disappointing now. At first we were saying, like you said, at this point in Western Kentucky, now it's like this season is a disappointment. Period.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's nobody that can argue otherwise, like at all. Like
no, this season is a disappointment. And you know what? When you say, oh, we can win. Let's say we go beat UTSA, North Texas, and LSU, and La Tech. Let's say we go do that. I'm going to be upset.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's no way you can win against those teams, but lose against freaking a Rice team that got blew out. And then you go lose to who the way that we lost, like we lost. I mean, the game today.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't think that's a good FAU team. I mean, I don't think they're a good FAU team. I mean, the only loss I'll give them that UAB lost to that was I mean, it's never a good loss, but the Liberty game, like Liberty has shown since then that they're a really good team. Yes. And kudos to them for giving Hugh Freeze a big contract. I think he's about to get $5 million a year. But I mean, in that game, you turned it over 4 times and you only lost by 7. So I mean, if you're gonna call a loss good, I would call that one. But other than that, like you mentioned, Rice, terrible loss. Western Kentucky, terrible loss. FAU, terrible loss. Like
that's the thing. We have some ugly losses, dog. Like we can say, oh, we only lost by 4. Man, I don't care. Care. We only lost this. We only lost this one by 7 points, but we lost again. Like, what does it matter? Like, it doesn't matter. It don't matter at all. We taking L's. That's what we do. Man, we was in it to the end. It don't matter because we can't win those games. We've been in all of them to the end, and we're 0-4. For whatever reason, that's just what it is. I don't care about the point margin anymore. Don't matter. So when those people are looking at to select for bowl games or whatever, they're not gonna look at me like, well, UAB only lost by 3 points here. They don't care. They're gonna be like, well, they lost. They're only, they didn't get eligible. So anyway, that's who this team is, man. That's who we are this year. Hopefully the players just find pride in each other as teammates and want to win for each other and want to perform well for each other and they have futures. I want them to get better and improve. That's all. That's the only thing I'm looking at for this team. Like I'm gonna be looking at individually who is getting better.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, who would be taking these moments to improve their game Whether it's seniors for chances to be looking at for scouts, or underclassmen just trying to improve their game and prove something that they should be on the field, and we'll just see where it go from there, and then we see what Jelly Walker got going.
Right, yeah, we need to start talking about basketball. Oh man. Well, all right, guys, are we good to end it here, Darion?
Yeah, man, I ain't even nothing to rant about, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's just who we are, and I think everybody know, kind of. We got clarity. We got clarity. Let's just say that we have some clarity.
Yes, and we've got a bunch of smart listeners, so I think they'll be able to get the gist of what we were saying tonight.
Yep.
All right, guys. Again, UAB takes the L, 24-17 to FAU. 4-4, 2-3 in Conference USA. We'll be back to talk UTSA, UAB in a couple of days. But as always, guys, go Blazers.
Go Blazers.